pregame.com.
Saturday, we have Western Michigan visiting Central Michigan. Western Michigan, a 2.5-point favorite. Total 61.5. Our Midwest representative, Chuck Edel, has an opinion in this game. Chuck.
One of those games kind of flying under the radar here. But, you know, we were talking a little bit ago. Western Michigan, we both had them ranked pretty high in the season. In fact, they come into this game the 39th best offense in the country, 51st in defense. Their problem has been turnovers. They had a very tough schedule, actually. They beat they knocked off that fly.
It's killing it. I told you, I'm all over it.
But, they had a tough schedule. They lost Illinois. They beat Connecticut, Minnesota, and then they had a couple of the better teams in the MAC conference. Kent, they had beat, turned the ball over. And part of the reason the turnover problem was Carter, the quarterback for Western Michigan. He got hurt. Van Tubergen, who took his place, he was like a turnover machine there for a couple of games. He has since got much better here. I think he only thrown one interception last week, but had a big game actually. And this Central Michigan team, they've won 6 games in the last year and a half. 2 of those games against Akron. I think Western Michigan, the far better team here.
I think Western Michigan clearly the better team if they could hold on to the ball. I've kept them pretty high in my ratings, and coming into this year, I think I had them slightly under Ohio U, slightly under Northern Illinois, but definitely a disappointing year so far. VR.
I think the line's telling us who's going to win this game. I mean, when you look at their records, you have Western Michigan 3-6, you have Central Michigan 3-5, and yet the road team's favored. And when you look at the history of the series, Central Michigan's won 5 of the last 6. So here's a team that's beaten you 5 of the last 6 times. They're home, and yet they're catching points. And I don't know all that much about these two teams, not like primetime Chuck, who loves these conferences. But personally, I'm a market reader. And to me, this is a telling sign that the right side is the road team. And when you look at Western Michigan coming in at this one.
Get 2 chopsticks.
Right? Give me the chopstick. They've lost 3 straight games, but they've been a dog in those games. So it's not like they're underperforming. They were games. That's what I like to look at. When a team's winning and losing, what did the betting market think? Should they have won those games, or were they underdogs going in, expected not to win? And for Western Michigan, they were dogs. Last week, Central Michigan, opposite. They're coming in off a win, but they were a favorite against Akron to win that game. So I think you're getting some value with the Western Michigan side, even though they're the road favorite. And more importantly, I think the odds makers and the betting market, by not jumping on the dog right away, is telling us Western Michigan's the side.
No, I know that's your specialty, is reading markets, and I think, you know, I always had a saying that price tells you the winner.
It does.
And
it does.
It does tell you the winner.
For me, that's my way of.
No, listen, everybody has their own way, but I think this is one of those cases. I'm looking at some more metrics, and Western Michigan still grades out pretty well if they can hold on to the ball. Van Tubergen looks like he's getting a little bit more control of the offense, and hence not letting go of the ball the way he used to do. I think I'm going to follow you on this one. I mean it, money out of my pocket. I like Western Michigan in this one.
I was going to say, Van Tubergen, Northern Illinois, they've been killing everybody. Yeah. Western Michigan actually had the lead in that game. Now they ended up losing the game, led the game at halftime. They've had a tough schedule. I want to say Central Michigan is probably their weakest opponent that they've played this year. Central Michigan defensively struggles a lot. Offensively, not bad, but they're going to go up against this Western Michigan defense is a good defense. Like I said, 51st in the country. And I think this is a game that they could roll the Chippewas here.
Okay, we've talked about it. Let's go ahead and make it official.
I'm going to go Western Michigan here. I feel like they're the much better team. A cheap price, only laying 2.5. Part of the reason that is because they've lost some games 3-6. When you dig deeper into those games, they outplayed a lot of those opponents. Turnovers were a crucial part in that as well. I like Western Michigan here.
I agree with them.
Yeah, I'm going to follow them. Money out of my pocket. Next up, we are going to hear again from Chuck Edel. He's going to give us his free pick on the Broncos and the Bengals. And you can watch all our videos at pregame.tv. So goodbye from Chuck, VR, me, and the Fly.
And don't forget.